Hello, happy Saturday. It is the weekend. I think that Streamline is like totally weird, totally playing games on me because it's like I have this alarm that goes off 5 minutes before I have to live stream because I want to get, everything ready and make sure everything is ready for y'all. And when I get onto Streamline and it shows like a little counter on the corner, and the counter is always like 3 minutes and counting down. I'm like, I got 5 minutes. How y'all telling me I got 3 minutes? So I don't know what Streamline. I don't know what time Streamline is on. But if I'm sometimes like a minute or two late, then that's the reason why. Because Streamline is, I'm sorry, Streamyard is being weird on me. So, welcome to Saturday afternoon sprints. Let us know in the comments who's with us and what you are doing today. Let me get the banner on. There we go. And what you want to get done today. Let me get the timer on for 5 minutes so I don't babble too much on you all, and we can get started with the sprints. We are going to be doing 4 20-minute sprints with 5 minute breaks in between. Sprints are for anything you want to do, writing related, non writing related. I mute myself and I also put the timer on completely. So, it's because I know sometimes that, like, for me at least, when like there's an image and there's stuff going on, for in the background, it can sometimes get a little bit distracting. So that's why I put the timer on. I mute myself so it's quiet so we can all work for 20 minutes. You could do writing related stuff, editing, revising, Preptober if you're doing it. But if you've got other stuff you want to get done, admin stuff, personal stuff, maybe you're cleaning, maybe you're cooking for the weekend, whatever you want to do, this is all about progress. This is all about get as my business mentor says, getting shit done basically is what we're here for, is what we're doing. So that's what the 20 minutes are for, and then 5 minutes are for bio breaks, getting up and stretching, snacks, drinks, whatever you want to get. So chatting as well. So that's what we're here for. So let's see who's with us. So Chris, okay, now I'm putting on. Now I get my reading glasses on. Okay, there we go. Hello, Chrysalis. I'm working on world. I always say word building. No, it's world building and magic system stuff today. That is awesome. That is so fun to work on. It's fun to work on world building. I write historical fiction, so it's not, the same kind of world building, but it's still kind of it's sort of I'm running a historical cozy mystery series, so kind of, and I'm on book 3 now, so there's a lot of, like, it's taking place in one small town location, so there's a lot of stuff that I'm building kind of around it, so it's fun to do. It's really fun to do. Hello, Emily. Wonderful that you're joining us. Hey, Max. Good morning. I am it's actually it's actually afternoon here in Texas. So, but I'm glad that you're in the morning still. I am a cheater and started the first novel of my trilogy before Nano. That's awesome, though. Though I will be aiming to get 50K, finishing it in November. Yes. But you know what? It's actually good, Max, that you're starting it now, especially, if it's like, if it's a trilogy and it's going to be a long novel, because you're starting it now, and so when you jump into Nano, you'll be really kind of in focus and in the flow. So that's really, really cool. And it's not a Nano, it's not a cheater, it is a Nano rebel. You are a Nano rebel. Many of us are Nano rebels. I'm going to be a Nano rebel this year because I'm going to be doing rewrites instead, and revisions instead of like writing a novel, because I just have to really get this book done. Crystal says, I love historical fiction. Very cool. Oh, yes, I do too. I do too. I love historical fiction. And I think it's become a genre that's kind of becoming, it's become more and more popular in the last several years. And I think even like since the pandemic, it's become kind of more of a readable kind of genre, because I guess it's, it's kind of like it's yeah, it's like the it's an escapism. Escaping into another time in the past is certainly better, than what we've had to deal with. So Emily says, want to finish my rock star novella. Awesome, awesome. That sounds very, very cool. So again, if you're with us, let us know what you're working on today. I am doing today, working on kind of getting up an outline for a course series, a writing process course series that I want to write. Um, this started this year as like one big course, and then I figured out I can't do it this year. Too much to do. I want to do it next year, and I want to do it as a series of shorter courses. So now I'm kind of trying to come up with the outline and, figure out like what each course is going to be about. And then so I can kind of chat about it with my business coach next week. So very cool. Alan says our own chancellor might resign tonight. Oh, wow. In Austria. Wow, I might watch that during the sprints. Champagne is being cooled. Okay, so if you say champagne is being cooled, I'm going to take a guess here and saying that Austria does not like its chancellor. So, and you know what? I don't want to get into politics, but I'm not going to get into politics, but let's just say that I think it was like what last year. I've just like lost count of the years. Yeah, I think it was last year. There were many Americans who were in that position about a certain person, but I'm not going to say more than that because I don't want to get into politics. So, but I can totally see it. Yeah, I imagine the only time period in historical fiction that didn't get a pandemic boost was the Dark Ages Black Plague. Right, right, and the Spanish influenza, and the Spanish influenza too. Was one that didn't really get a boost. I think the Spanish influenza was like post World War I, I think. So, yeah, so that did not get a boost. No. Uh, Max says, yes, my writing is a form of escapism. Yeah, I like historical fiction. Yeah, historical fiction when the author takes a historical event and gives it a different reason for happening. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, kind of like that alternative history kind of thing. Yeah, very, very cool. Maybe Spanish flu. No, no, Max. It was the. I'm pretty sure it was the Spanish. Yeah, it is the Spanish flu. No, you're right. You're right. Yes, yes. Is it? You're right. Spanish influenza, Spanish flu. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Max. Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. So, yeah, but yes, they're the same thing. Okay, let's get started. First sprint. So let's take this off here. We're going to go for 20 minutes, whatever you want to do, writing, sidetrack writing, non writing. We are here to support you, giving you a thumbs up, and I will see you all in 20 minutes. First sprint is down, and we looks like we've had a couple people joining us. So welcome to Saturday afternoon sprints. Let us know in the comments if you haven't done so already what you will be working on. So let's put on the timer for the break so I don't babble the whole time to y'all. How was that? What did you all get done? How did it go out there? So I started to get my list of courses down and starting to think a little bit about, kind of what I want to put in the courses. So definitely making progress there. And hopefully, all of you are also making progress. Hello, Angela. Don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm here. We are glad you're here. We are glad you're here. And it doesn't matter if you don't know what you're doing because we're just glad you're here. And Emil says, feel ya? Yes. Hi, Diane. I'm eating lunch, so please excuse my crunching. We will excuse your crunching. That is not a problem. Diane got 332 words. Excellent. Wonderful. So let us know in the comments too, because I'm really curious to know who is doing Nano? And also, if you want to share with us what you're doing for Nano, if you know already, then share that with us as well. And if you're not doing Nano, that's totally fine too. Nano is definitely not for everybody. It's definitely not for everybody. I had a friend who is, she's a writing teacher and she also writes humor novels as well. And she's less of a self-published author. She's kind of more traditionally published. And so she did Nano last year. And I think it was the first time she did Nano. And she said, I just felt like all I was writing, it was just like total crap. And I was just like, trying to get through it. And it just was not for me. So, so totally understand that. Totally understand that. So let's see. Hello, Juanita. Hello. I am working on creating an outline for Act Two of my book via Scrivener index cards. That is awesome. I don't even want to like try Scrivener index cards. I have a hard. Yeah, it's like I have enough of a challenge, trying to get the binder right. But it's wonderful that you're doing the index cards, and and Scrivener is just so. I love Scrivener. I love Scrivener. So Dan says the clues for my murder and are falling into place. That's awesome. Yes, that is so awesome. Totally. I so know that feeling because I also write mysteries, and so sometimes you've got all these clues, and it's like a puzzle. It's like you're building a puzzle, and you've got all the clues. And I know for myself as a reader of mysteries, one of the things I hate is when an author just kind of brings out this juicy clue in the beginning of the novel and then just kind of it just kind of disappears, and it's kind of like well, where did that go? And it's totally understandable from the writer's standpoint. It's totally understandable because if you're building a mystery and you've got all of these clues that you're juggling, it's really easy to lose track of what you're doing. So from a writer's viewpoint, I totally understand it. But from a reader's viewpoint, it's like, if a clue is out there in the beginning of the novel, then I definitely want to see it coming back in sometime later in the novel. It's kind of like that Chekhov thing. I think it was Chekhov who I think he famously said, and he was talking about something else, but he said if as a writer, he gave writing advice, if you introduce in Act One, and he was writing plays, if you have I think this is what he said, if you have a gun hanging on the wall in Act One, it better go off in Act Three. And of course, he was talking about something different. He was talking about, I think, foreshadowing, but it's kind of like the same. I think with mysteries, it's maybe also with other genres too. It's kind of like the same idea, where it's sort of like if you introduce something and you point to it, then or not point to it, but the reader is aware of it, then the reader is going to expect that it comes back. some at some point in the plot. So Max says 493 words. Excellent. My characters have crossed into the fairy realm. Awesome. Though they haven't realized it yet. Ooh, that sounds juicy. Love that. I love that. It's probably going to be really exciting when they do realize it. Very interesting. Diane says, yeah, doing Nano, probably book 2 in trilogy. Wonderful. Excellent. Excellent, Diane. Chrysalis says, getting your butt in the chair is half the battle, Angela. It is. It totally is. It totally is. Yes. Butt in the chair absolutely is half of the battle. And yeah, and it's definitely a battle for me when I'm trying to get my writing hour done because I usually do it really early in the morning. It's just like, getting out of bed. It's like to write, it's definitely a challenge. Juanita says, I've signed up for Nano. Awesome. But my track record for finishing Nano is nil. You know what? That's okay. I've been doing Nano, I think since 2009. I think since 2009. And I think I only finished like maybe twice. So totally fine. Totally fine. You know what? It's whatever you get done in Nano, this is for everybody. Whatever you get done in Nano is progress. Even if you get just 500 words in your work in progress and life takes over and you have to bow out of Nano, that's 500 words you didn't have before. So Diane says, love Scrivener. Yes, I do too. Juanita says, I'm writing a thriller. Awesome. Tentatively called Panic Attack. Beautiful. I am working on writing Act 2 of this book for Nano. That is awesome. That is awesome. That sounds really cool. That sounds really cool. And Max says, I used to struggle with that for Nano. Yes, Preptober helps. It does help. It really does help. I don't let myself write words I know will get cut, even if it slows me down. Okay. Obviously, some will be cut, but I want to feel good about them. And you know what, Max? That's cool. That's really cool. And I think, especially for Nano, you do have to do a little bit of planning. I mean, you do have to do. I mean, I know there are pantsers who do Nano, and I totally respect that. Dan says, I was thinking Chekhov, yeah, from Star Trek. See, I don't know Star Trek, so I can't help you there. Um, and let's see, I've been doing Nano since 2004. Awesome. I feel I am behind and should have a whole library of books written by now. Yeah, I know. Well, but you know what? Nano really is. I mean, Nano is really about getting the butt in the chair. It's really about that. So, okay, excellent. Let's go into sprint number 2. Going to set the timer 20 minutes, whatever you are working on. Yes, Nano, no Nano. It is all good. We are here to support you. I will see you all in 20 minutes. Cool. We are halfway through. So we're halfway through Saturday sprints. Let me put the timer on. So, how was that? Let us know how it went and what you got done. Hold on one second. There we go. Okay. So, I actually got done the outline. I didn't expect to get it done so quickly, but I kind of like took the big course that I was going to do this year, and I just kind of chopped it up a little bit. So, so I got that done, and now I am going on to doing keywords and categories. So I talked a little bit. I talked yesterday about and during my sprint that, and I've been saying that I'm uh, launching, relaunching my 4-book historical family saga this year. And I'm doing that in November. So I'm kind of following the advice that Sarah gives in Publish and Thrive, which is basically, to go over all the metadata. So I got new covers, new professional covers. I did the blurbs earlier this year. We did the blurbs, got some great feedback on that. I redid back matter also. I did that during, I think, earlier. It was earlier this, no, yesterday. I did that yesterday. Yeah. So now I'm on to keywords and categories. So that is going to be a challenge because you got to get that right. So I'll probably just be starting with looking at the keywords and categories that I have now for each of the 4 books, and kind of look. I have Publisher Rocket, thank goodness, so that makes the work a lot easier. So I'll probably just plug it into Publisher Rocket and see where it's at, because y'all know that keywords and categories, searches and things like that, they change so much. So let us see how everybody did. Oh, okay. Diane says, I do have a number of nonfiction, but they'll all need updated. Okay, cool. Diane, do you mean like a nonfiction project? Is that what you mean? Because we were talking before about like nano and all that kind of stuff. So, do you mean like a nonfiction project? I'm just not sure what the context is. So, sorry, I missed that. Juanita says, Nano, but in the chair. Yeah, words on page. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And you know what? It's if we're talking about Nano, it's like it does not matter how those words are, because there's always editing and there's always revising. So it's just about getting the story down. So yeah. Angela says, "Sorry, was getting lunch. That's okay, Anne. You don't have to apologize. Lunch is good. It is lunchtime. Today I'm working on products for my box. That is awesome. That is awesome. Yes." Tamara says, hello, Tamara. I'm at my Starbucks job, but missing you all. Oh, well, we miss you too. So, but it's kind of nice, I guess, because like um, with all the pandemic stuff, and I know for myself, I haven't been able to go to to, of course, my local Starbucks. I haven't been. I used to go like pretty much every Sunday morning when the weather was good, and then of course the pandemic came, and I totally stopped that, and I really miss it. So I think I need to go back to my local Starbucks and just sit there and write. Very cool. Juanita says, I need to work on a timeline. Yes, very important. My 2 characters are having separate journeys and are going to meet up at the same time. That is cool. Their individual stories have to make sense time wise. Yes. You know what, Juanita? I totally get that, because I'm writing a series where, it's my historical mystery series. It kind of, it's sort of like the dates really matter, because it's like, because you got historical events, and sometimes you can make do with those. So my series takes place in the San Francisco Bay Area, and of course If probably as most of you know, in 1906, it takes place at the beginning of the 20th century. And in 1906, of course, there was that huge earthquake and fire. So it's something that I definitely want to utilize. So I'm really keeping track of the books and like what the dates are for the books, so that when I get to that point, I can incorporate that. So yes, timeline, very, very important, very important for any book, I think. Max says 406 words. That is awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome. If you keep going like that, Max, you can probably get like more than 1,000 words for these scripts, and that's awesome. Okay, Diane says I publish a rocket. Yeah, and I don't use it nearly enough as I should. Yeah, you know what, I think, Diane, all of those numbers, it's like I don't always know what they mean, but so I actually watched a couple of videos just to kind of get what those numbers mean. Yes, nonfiction books. Okay, cool. Yes, your books, absolutely. Maggie says, hello, Maggie. I managed to get 430 words in the sprint. That is awesome. I think I may be warmed up now. Well, you know what? 430 words is a beautiful warm up. So good for you. Chrysalis says, feeling stuck. So going to read a novel in my probable genre. That's awesome. That is cool. That's a really good way to get unstuck too. Kind of reading in your genre. Totally cool. Nemo says, okay. Emily. I said Amelia. It's not Amelia. I apologize for that. It is something much more beautiful than that. Back drinking champagne. Oh my God. Okay, so basically, so that means that the Chandler resigned, right? That's what I'm guessing. That's what I'm guessing it means. So yes, and you know what? It's again, I don't want to get political, but I think that when a certain event happened last year with a certain person in America, there was lots of champagne drinking. So but I don't want to get into that. Hello, Dummer. I've written 2,200 words for the day so far. That is awesome. But just joined you. That is terrific. We hope that you get more words written for these sprints. And we are at the second hour of our sprints. So let me get the spanner down so we can start sprint number 3. Let me set the timer on that one. And you know what? And I forgot, before I set the timer on that, I'm going to do this really quick. I forgot to do this yesterday. I've got my mug of tea, and I have my mug with all of the first lines. This is all like first lines. So first lines of famous books. So I'm going to read one of them to you and try to guess what book this comes from. And you can Google it. It's totally fine. This is not a test. It's just for fun. So, and I think this one is kind of a little bit obvious because of some of the context here. Okay, many years later, as he faced the firing squad, Colonel Aureliano Bueno, I know I'm probably going to mispronounce this. Buendia, Ariello Buendia, what a beautiful name, was to remember that distant afternoon when his father took him to discover ice. So that's a line. Let me read it again real quick. Many years later, as he faced the firing squad, Colonel Arliano Buendia was to remember that distant afternoon when his father took him to discover ice. So that is the first line from a famous book. If you know it, awesome. You can Google it if you don't. And that's, again, it's all just for fun. All just for fun. Okay, 20 minutes on the clock, whatever we can get done. We're here to support one another. See you all in 20 minutes. That was our third sprint, everyone. So we are down to the last sprint. Let me set the timer for the break here. There we go. So before I forget, sprints for the rest of this weekend, which you are all invited to join. So for today, we've got Tracy coming up at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. That's at night. So Tracy is doing night owl sprints. And then tomorrow, I will be back in the morning at 9 o'clock EST, 8 o'clock CST time. So it's morning sprints if y'all want to get something done early on a Sunday morning so you can be free for the rest of your day. And then Tracy is on at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 2 o'clock Central Time for afternoon sprints. So we've got stuff going on for this weekend, which is very very cool. So, how did you all do? Hopefully, that was productive for you. And I started going into my keywords for book number one for my series. And basically, what I did was I put in the current keywords that I have for the book, just to kind of see, what the stats are right now, because as we know, the searches, they change all the time. And a keyword that might have been working for me last year may not be working for me this year. And what I found out was very very depressing, because it basically, all of the keywords that I put in and that I worked so hard last year to find for this book are not working, because there are something like less than 100 searches for each of the keywords. So I think I got a little bit too niche for the keywords. So now basically what I'm doing is Publisher Rocket lets you press a button for, and this I just found out watching the tutorials, they let you press a button where you can get a list of keywords and categories. I'm sorry, for keywords that kind of relate to the keyword that you put in. So, they kind of find another keyword for you, other keywords that are related to that. And so I figure, okay, I'll do that, and then I'll see what Publisher Rocket has to offer, and I'll look at the stats, and I'll see, maybe I'll find something there, because I am so bad at finding keywords. So, okay, let's see how we are all doing. Okay. Juanita says, yes, love this game. Oh, I'm so happy, Juanita. 100 Years of Solitude. Yes, Chrysalis, you are absolutely right. That was 100 Years of Solitude. That's where that line came from. And I think it's kind of like something that's well known. I actually read that book in grad school. I read it in grad school because I took a course on realist fiction. So we read that book. So it was an interesting book. Never heard of that one. Yes. Well, it's you know what, Juanita, it's a 100 Years of Solitude by, oh, the name is escaping me. The name is escaping me. If somebody wants to put it in the comments, um they can, but it is by I can't even, I think he is um uh I can't even remember where the author is from, but it's, yeah, it's magic realism. So it's kind of one of these books that, it's a little bit more esoteric, I think. So it's not one that's like commonly read. Yeah, there we go, Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Thank you, Chrysalis. Thank you for that. Yes. So yeah, and it's pretty well known, but it's not an easy book to read. It's not an easy book to read, and it's not an easy book to understand, but it's a really interesting one. Dan says, heading out, I think I need a nap. That's okay. You did get 2,900, 63 words today. That is awesome. That is awesome. So, Diane, I don't know if you're still with us, but if you are, that is awesome. Almost 3,000 a word. That's cool. Nap needed due to a little sleep last night. Oh, not due to word count. Oh, I totally understand that. Dharma says 553 words. That is terrific. Emily says 120 words. That is awesome. Well, you were too busy celebrating. So, who wants to think about words when, you're celebrating? Chrysalis says, I accidentally downloaded the Spanish version of my book. So I had to find the English one. Okay. Maggie says 471 words. That's awesome. And I think I figured out a pretty pivotal point of Act One. That is important. That is important. That is even more important, I think, than the word count. Is like, getting to those pivotal points, because then it's like, everything falls into place. 305 words for Max. That is terrific. Nice going, Max. Chrysalis says he's Colombian. Okay, yes. Yes, I knew. I kind of knew it was South America, but I just wasn't sure where exactly he was from. So yeah, that's Gabriel Garcia Marquez, the author of 100 Years of Solitude. So Max says, "I love the mug." By the way, oh, thank you. Yeah, I had to go look it up. Yeah, yeah. I think Angela put the link in one of our chats about it. Yeah, it's a really cool mug. It's a really cool mug. I think there's also a mug for like famous, which I'll probably get at some point is famous last lines too. So it's really cool. This says, I've read the first half of 100 Years of Solitude many, many times. Yes, never finished it. Yeah, it's a hard book to finish. Yes. Just when you bond with someone emotionally, he kills them off. Yeah, very true. Very true. Yes, yes. So, yeah, and it's like, authors should not do that. We should not do that. And Dharma says, breaks over, back on your heads. Yes, you are absolutely right. Yes, Dharma, you're right. So let's get to it. Last sprint of the afternoon. Whatever you want to get, words, not words, doesn't matter. We are here to support you, make progress. I will see you all in 20 minutes. Yay, last sprint of the afternoon. So I hope that you all did well. And how did you do? Just let us know really quickly in the comment section how you did. I did a little bit more keyword searching and trying to get some keywords that are maybe going to work a little better for me. So we'll see how that goes. So thank you so much for everyone who has joined us. And, if you got to pop off, that's okay. Sprints will be here on at 9 o'clock tonight. Tracy will be doing sprints at 9 o'clock this evening, Eastern Standard Time. I will be back tomorrow morning on Sunday morning, 9 o'clock EST time in the morning, of course. And then Tracy will be back in the afternoon at I think it's 3 o'clock. I think she's doing 3 o'clock. So EST time, of course. So thank you, everyone who has joined us. And let's just catch some of those last comments. Emily says 162 words. That's awesome. And I have to head out. That is fine. Max says 359. That is awesome, Max. Good for you. You got a lot of great words in during these sprints. That's awesome. Dharma says 417 words, 3,263 for the day. That is awesome. And I've crossed over to the 50K mark for this manuscript. Cool. Very, very cool. And Angela says, thank you. You are most welcome, Angela. I am so glad that everybody got stuff done. I definitely got stuff done. And thank you, everyone, for being here with me. Hopefully, you will join me tomorrow morning. I will be back tomorrow morning. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Saturday.